Hey everybody, I'm just here to kind of give you guys an update to where we're at so far with the case, as well as kind of some events about what led up to this. And I have a surprise at the end for everyone, an announcement. I apologize, I just got off work. I've been meaning to give you guys an update on this case. First and foremost, I just want to say thank you everyone for all the support, as well as a special thank you to Accountability for All. He's sent so many people my way just within the past couple of days. I want to thank everyone who's subscribed, and as promised, this is the update. So first of all, I'd just like to say, give you guys a little, give you guys kind of a little background about what led up to this, and then also some of my background. So first of all, we were just going to National Park for my girlfriend's birthday. It wasn't actually her birthday, but it was her birthday weekend, and she actually is a prison guard. So she works a pretty tight schedule, 2 on, 3 off, 2 off, 3 off, or 2 on, 2 off. And so we don't get a whole lot of time together because I work on call 24 hours a day, 6 days a week. I actually am contracted through the medical examiner's office. So I work closely hand in hand with the police on a daily basis myself, with the Richmond Police Department, the Henrico Police Department, the Chesterfield Police Department, and the Henrico County Sheriff's Department here in Virginia. Now, what I do, I transport decedents, so dead people, from crime scenes to the medical examiner's office, as well as to other funeral homes and things around the Richmond and surrounding areas. But I work hand in hand on a daily basis with police from several different departments. And I will say that I've never had an interaction like I had with Ranger Hoyt. To give a kind of a little bit of build up as to what happened, we had basically just arrived at the park, and we didn't actually really have any preset plans. We just said we're going to cook some bratwursts. We had a cupcake that we had for her and some for ourselves, but we're going to put a candle on it and just find a nice place and have a good day just driving around, seeing the scenery, and really just enjoying the day. Now, when Ranger Hoyt had first arrived on scene, what she had said is, hey, you guys, I see you have a fire going, and there's a current fire ban park wide. And I said, oh, really? That's weird. I didn't see any signs anywhere or anything. We did see a sign at one of the other picnic areas said it was closed because of the of a water shortage in that particular picnic area. But we didn't see anything anywhere else. And she said, yeah, there is, just put it out. I said, okay, not a problem. I was already putting it out anyway. Now, at this point, I hadn't even gotten a chance to explain to her that I hadn't actually even started the fire myself. When we had arrived, there were already coals from someone who had already had a fire going. All I did is I simply lowered the grate that's on the fire pit as far down as it would go and mixed up the coals a little bit and used the pre-existing coals to cook some bratwurst and some peppers and onions. That's it. There was no open flame even. It was inside one of those iron fire circles that you see at many state and national parks. So I was going back to the Jeep to grab my water bottle. We had a 24-pack of water bottles in the back of the Jeep. As a matter of fact, I think that was the only thing in the back of the Jeep. Might have been some other loose items, but I don't believe there was. And so I came back with 2 water bottles, poured them both on him. And on my way up, Ranger Hoyt said, hey, I'm going to need to see your ID. And I said, no, I'm good. I wasn't a smart ass about it. I was just saying, no, I'm good. And she goes, well, no, that's not going to work like that. I need to see your ID. And I said, well, what for? She said, because I told you there's a park-wide fire ban. And I said, okay, well, I didn't see anything about a fire ban. Saw nothing about it. And she said, well, it doesn't matter. There is. And I said, okay, well, we're already putting it out anyway. She goes, well, I need to see your ID. And I said, well, I'm not giving you my ID unless I've committed a crime. She goes, I already told you there's a park-wide fire ban. And at this time, I went back down to the Jeep to get my more water. I'd already put 2 bottles on it, but I wanted to make sure that it was completely out. Because I've visited, as a matter of fact, almost every single national park in the United States, excluding some in Hawaii, because I've never been. But I even lived in Alaska for a period of time, for a couple of years, and I was even in Denali National Park and national parks in Canada as well. So this is something I do often and have for the past 20 years. In those 20 years, I've never, ever had a single violation, and I've never had a park ranger talk to me the way that Ranger Hoyt did. Most of the time, park rangers are very cordial. They're there for educational purposes. They're not there to make your life hard. That being said, Ranger Hoyt's a different breed. She started getting very confrontational. She kept on holding not just her gun belt, but the grip of her gun, and she was barking orders at me. And I said, well, what's a reasonable articulable suspicion that you have? I didn't have any intent to break any law. I didn't know that it was in place. And I told you that we were already putting it out, and it shouldn't be a big deal. She kept demanding ID. And at this point, she still hasn't articulated a single crime. So I'm asking her, articulate the crime. And she had eventually told me CRF 1.5D, I believe. Don't quote me. And that has to do with closures, park closures, violation of a park closure. And so I told her, I said, okay, is it a felony or a misdemeanor? And she said, a misdemeanor. I said, am I being detained? She said, yes, currently you are. I said, okay. So I walked over to her vehicle, and she started shouting a bunch of demands over to me. And all this time, I'm trying to de-escalate this situation. So at this point, I'm extremely aggravated because she's got me over there. I haven't broken any laws. She told me to go check the website. I checked the website. The website said there was only 2 fire bans in place. One was at South River. One was at Dundo Picnic Area. That's it. She wouldn't even let me explain, because as I would try to say anything, she just, I need your ID. I need your ID. Do you have a driver's license? How do you have a driver's license? And I'm just like, what do you mean, how do I have a driver's license? I went down to the driver's license center and took a test, and I was granted a driver's license the same way as everyone else, is what I'm thinking. But anyway, she starts getting, this is at the point to where this video picked up that you guys already saw. Now, I didn't even get a chance to tell her that the fire wasn't even ours, because anytime I would try to say anything, she would just cut me off and ask for my ID. She wouldn't listen to anything, and she kept on escalating everything. She wouldn't listen to any de-escalation whatsoever. As a matter of fact, I'm the only one in that situation that tried de-escalation. I'm not saying that I was perfect, because I definitely didn't do everything perfectly, but I did try my hardest to de-escalate. And a couple times I even said, look, I'm not one of those people that do weird shit. I know there's a bunch of them. I'm not one of them. I just want you to know. And before I could even continue that sentence, she said, stand at the front of the car. She just kept on barking orders at me. Stand here, stand there. One thing I couldn't understand is if she was so adamant about me standing in front of the car for whatever reason, her safety, or I was a flight risk or whatever, why in the world did she walk all the way across the other side of the parking lot for 2-3 minutes and leave me unattended at her vehicle if she was so concerned about safety or flight? It had nothing to do with this. This was all about power and control. That's what this was about. This entire situation was about power and control. And I didn't bow to her like she wanted me to. And so I was punished for it. I ended up getting cited for an illegal fire. I've yet to be given a court date. I've reached out. I've made a formal complaint against the officer. I received a call back from a chief ranger. Supposedly there's an internal affairs investigation being conducted. I haven't heard anything more of that. That was about a month ago, maybe a little bit longer than a month ago now, about a month and a week or so. I've also FOIA requested the body cam of Ranger Hoyt, her supervisor, the dash cam footage from Ranger Hoyt's vehicle, and any other officers that were in the area within an hour before and after the event. I've yet to hear anything back on that as well, but as soon as I do, I'll be sure to upload it. I'll be sure to let you guys know what's going on. Now, also, I promised everyone here a little surprise, just because of everyone's encouragement and everyone that's come my way and brought me, any kind of support. I just want to tell you guys that I'm going to be doing my very first ever First Amendment audits, based on just the feedback that I've been getting from everyone. So I'm going to be doing that this Monday. I believe that's going to be the 12th or 13th. The video probably won't be uploaded for a couple more days after that. But yeah, I'm going to be going to all the government buildings on my days off, doing First Amendment audits in all public spaces peacefully. But as you guys can see, I'm not afraid to stand up for my rights. I'm not afraid to be vocal. And I'm surely not afraid to be detained or put in handcuffs, especially if it's against my constitutional rights. So that's the surprise for everybody. I hope everyone enjoys this. If you have any questions, leave any questions, comments in the feedback, even if it's negative. I'm open to it. I'm not going to criticize you if you don't believe in the same thing as me. As you can tell, I believe in our constitutional rights, including free speech. So no matter what you think of me, whether it be good or bad, be sure to mention it down below. And I thank everyone for stopping by. More updates to follow. Peace.